Hi everyone, welcome to VWO's Ask Me Anything session. This is your host Abhishek. This is the place where you get to ask all your questions about experimentation, what are the best use cases, how to best use the VWO platform, and deliver the best experience to your customers while experimenting full throttle. Today on the panel, we are joined by Deeksha, who's an optimization consultant here at VWO, and Anshul, who's the product manager for VWO testing. These two over here will explain and answer all your queries and questions for any use case and any experimentation that you're trying to do, and we'll try to help you out in that fashion. Before I start and hand over the first question to Deeksha, I would request all the attendees to be sure and do not hesitate and just raise your hand and ask any question that you wish to ask. Here we go. Deeksha, handing it over to you.
Thank you, Abhishek, for the warm welcome. So, I think for today's AMA session, we have received two questions. We'll take them one by one. The first question that has come is, what type of A/B tests are found to move the needle the most on checkout pages? Continuing the same question, we have testing differences in copy, images, color, call to action, price, reduction of clicks or steps, etc. So as we all know that checkout pages are one of the most crucial pages on the site, as it's the at the bottom of the funnel and users landing there needs the final push in order to be converted. While creating A/B test on checkout pages, we need to make sure that we understand the friction and the drop-off points and accordingly implement the relevant changes to improve the conversion rate for our site. All the elements that are present on our checkout pages plays a very crucial role in order to push the users down the funnel or convert with us. So what actually moves the needle will depend on understanding the friction points on the individual checkout pages with the help of heat maps or recordings, scroll maps, through which you'll get to understand how the users are behaving on your page, what are the friction points, what are the leaky buckets on those checkout pages that are letting users not move down the funnel, and accordingly take the desired A/B testing ideas or create hypotheses around it. Having said that, I would definitely like to add few examples of the tests that one should test on their checkout pages and have a good to have test. So when we talk about call to actions on checkout pages, call to actions plays a very crucial role as it is highly recommended to add checkout buttons to the top and the bottom of the pages. The less time that customers have to spend looking for them, the sooner they'll take an action. Also, while creating a CTAs for your mobile device, you need to be very cognizant of the fact that your CTAs are visible and are easy to access for the users. Because on mobile device, CTAs are one of the most overlooked elements on checkout pages. Ensure that customers can click on the mobile CTAs with either thumb by making them the entire width or nearly the entire width of the screen. These are some good to have tests around the CTAs on your checkout pages, as that action button is actually let the users convert on your site. Moving on with the other example. So I think when it comes to reducing the number of steps or clicks in the transactions, one test that all the websites or ideally we should test is skipping the mandatory registration. As we have observed, more and more users expect to have a guest checkout option when they proceed to the payment page, or prefer an option to log in via social networks like Gmail or Facebook, etc. If you actually want to collect their data, it is always advisable to do it on the thank you page. Once they reach on the thank you page, they will not hesitate, or they'll not be reluctant of the fact of filling up the data if they actually want to continue the relationship with the site. So this is again one of the very good tests that you can run in order to test if reducing the number of steps or clicks in the transactions actually help it. Also, on your checkout pages, the form fields, make sure that there are no extra or irrelevant form fields available on the form. If you feel that there are few steps that can be removed from the form field and user can actually place an order with your site without having filled them, it is always advisable to test that, as less number of fields gives a psychological impression to the users that it will take less time for them in order to fill or complete the whole process. So we have seen these tests always working in the past, and we'll definitely suggest you to perform these. Now, when it comes to talking about the security elements on the page, so adding security elements on the page will actually help buyers feel more secure of your site. By minimizing the risk involved in online shopping will help your customers follow through with their purchases. Especially this works great for the first time visitors on your site. You can do that by adding a security seals on the top or payment logos, which will help in creating more trust and increasing your conversion rates ultimately. There was also an option of testing the colors. So, with respect to test on colors, either on the CTAs or the background color, choosing the best color for your CTA isn't as simple as it looks like. It has to blend with other visual elements on the page and can vary from industry to industry. It's also important to remember that making a CTA stand out is about finding the best mix of three essential elements on the page. That would be the size of the CTA, its shape, and its color. I would say testing is the keyword here. It's easy to run A/B test here at, as best practice and can vary differently from site to site. So feel free to create your A/B testing around it. Have different background color for your CTAs. Try experimenting with its size and the shape. We have also seen that the corners of the CTA buttons, the curvy CTAs, have performed better than the strict edgy CTAs. So I think this is also a very good test that you can perform. And once you get a significant result, it can be also duplicated to throughout your site. Now, one very good test that all the e-commerce sites or the B2C sites should perform is add save the cart option. We should always give our users or buyers an option to quickly and easily resume their shopping by providing the option to save the entire cart or individual product for later will increase the odds of them returning to complete the order, as many people actually use a shopping cart as a glorified wish list to save things for later. And why not give them that opportunity to do that just by letting them save their cart or optionally, add products to the wish list for a future purchase. So I believe that these, were the good tests around the checkout pages that one should perform. If there are a lot of tests that will ideally depend from site to site or industry to industry, but these are few very good practices that each our checkout pages should have. So yeah, I think this is something that I would like to answer the first question with. If anyone has any questions around it, any inquiry around it, feel free to go for it.
Thank you, Diksha, for the comprehensive answer. We'll wait for a bit for our attendees to raise their hands and ask their questions, and let's see if we can sort of dive deeper into this particular topic.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, I think we should move to the next question, and then again, I would request the audience again to sort of not to hesitate and keep asking these questions, and we'll try to give you the best possible solution and new ideas for the same. Handing it back to you, Diksha, for the next question that we've received.
Sure, Abhishek. So I think the second question that we have received is what are the ideal placement of the social proofs or reviews on the website? Does it differ for a B2C and B2B businesses? So I think it's very important or crucial for us first to understand the importance of social proofs or reviews on the website, and later on we'll talk about its placement. So we all know when thinking about the purchasing a new product or services, who would we trust more? A salesperson who is actually pitching about the product and will benefit directly from that purchase, or a customer who has experience with the product you are considering to buy and can actually provide you with an honest review? I think we all know the answer. It is the point two. People consult reviews and testimonials to determine whether or not that they trust a product or a service. In fact, as per a recent studies, buyers read 7 reviews on average before actually moving forward with that product. And brands have, over the period of time, understood this fact and that the customers are becoming more and more sophisticated in their research and are requiring more social proofs before making the purchase decisions. When we talk about the placement of the testimonials or reviews on the site, it is of utmost importance to analyze the user activity on your site. For instance, a heat map behavior report can show you where the most activity is happening on a given page, or through scroll maps, you can see where people stop and start scrolling on a page. This information allows you to place your customer testimonials in those critical areas. Say, for example, if nobody scrolls to the bottom of a particular page where you are actually planning to put your testimonial, having a testimonial at that place would be fruitless. Nobody would actually see it, and there will no benefit or no business impact that you can avail from. So, understanding what are the activities that are happening on your page through all the through all the heat maps or scroll maps, you can actually see where people are interacting, and with those interactions, or the if you see that at certain element on a page there is a lot of concentrated clicks or activity happening, you can ideally then do a A/B testing by replacing that content with a testimonial and see if that helps you in ultimately improving your conversion rate or not. It is always advisable to test different pages for testimonials. To name a few pages which are very common and you'll find a lot of testimonials available there would be a home page, specific landing pages. So say for example, if you're running a marketing campaign for any given particular product or services, that you can put your testimonials on those landing pages too. Sales pages, the contact pages that you have underneath the blog post and in the sidebar. As testimonials or reviews for a B2C industry like e-commerce will majorly be depending upon a specific products. So ideally, having those reviews or testimonial section on the product of those particular product pages will add more value. To give you a relevant example of this, say for example, Amazon. Amazon have testimonials for each product at the bottom of those product pages, because ideally when a user is making a decision to add that product to their cart or not, they definitely would like to go through the reviews or the testimonials, the customer feedbacks that they have added. Amazon, Nike, and a lot of other e-commerce websites are following the same rule of thumb by placing the customer reviews there. When we actually talk about a B2B business, it is advisable to to test keeping your testimonial on your homepage as well as on the other pages, like could be your pricing page, could be your product pages, or could be even your form pages where the user is finally taking an action to sign up with you or provide you their personal detailed information. And on those pages, if you provide the final push to them that with using your services, XYZ has benefited or increased their, the primary goal by X%. All these informations or testimonials are going to be that final push for B2B clients that they'll finally convert with you and have more trust with your site. Here, if I have to give you an example, I would say that you can go through our VWO.com site and you will see that we have a testimonial right at the present of our homepage banner in the right hand section. So, having said that, I think I'd definitely like to, move ahead with the importance. Uh, Yeah, so because customer reviews and testimonials are important for both businesses and customers, it's not only about the customers that benefit from them, it's also that businesses also benefit from them. From a customer's perspective, we all know that reviews and testimonials help immensely during the decision making process. They heavily influence how much a customer can trust a new brand or a product, and even one negative review can sway a potential customer. Additionally, a business with no reviews raises a red flag. Positive or negative, reviews are always beneficial in a customer's eye. To add on a point here, I would definitely recommend to not remove the negative reviews from your site, as having too many positive reviews for any given product may also be not an eye candy view for a customer who is about to convert, as it may look a little fishy to them before adding that product or before actually finally converting for your product or services. So always try and keep the honest reviews, be it positive or negative. If you feel that you're getting or receiving a lot of negative reviews, you can always work upon it and improvise your services or offerings accordingly. From a business perspective, as I mentioned above, reviews and testimonials help business understand why they are retaining or losing their customers. With reviews and testimonials, companies can actually make educated decisions about what needs to remain the same and what needs to be changed in order to, make the overall user experience good and have a success and to be as successful as possible. Lastly, I think we all know as positive reviews help convert interested customers and leads into buyers and loyal customers that all leading websites desire for. So I think, yeah, to conclude, I would definitely say it is very important to have testimonials and reviews on your site. At the same time, the placement may differ from B2B as well as B2C industries. For B2C, when it specifically comes to e-commerce, it is highly suggested if you have product specific reviews, kindly place them on those product pages so the user, while making a final decision to add that product to the cart, can quickly have a look at the review and take the informed decision. Whereas when we talk about B2B industry, it is advisable to test having the product reviews on your from your home page to maybe your final conversion sign up page and see what actually helps you in improvising the conversion rate there. So I think, yeah, if anyone has any query around this, we'll be more than happy to answer that.
Thank you, Diksha, for the amazing explanation. We will now wait for our audience to raise their hand if they're still looking uh, to ask any specific question related to the last question, or also if you have something else in mind, any particular kind of test that you're trying to run, any particular insight into how to research best for a test in terms of, or maybe creating the better hypothesis. Anything that you're looking for, please raise your hand and ask your questions. Okay, great. I think we will now uh, summarize this particular session for now. Diksha, any last comments that you would like to add before we finish the session?
Yeah, I think just to conclude, I would say A/B testing or CRO as a whole is a very continuous process. Never stop testing. Please keep testing. If there's any hypothesis, if there's any uh, leaky bucket on your site that you feel can be fixed through testing, never hesitate testing, and you can create as many hypotheses. It's even with a failed test, you get to learn and understand the user behavior on your site, and it's always advisable to test more and more. Also, at the same time, while creating a campaign or while testing on your site, make sure that post the test you are able to analyze the reports well. There are times when users just look for the primary goal of the test, which is, say, for example, if you change the CTA button text of a checkout page and you looked into the conversion rate, high conversion rate, or moving users down the funnel, make sure was it due to the other factors? Was it due to the sale that is currently running on your site? Was it due to the reduction in price that has happened? Make sure that post campaign analysis is also something that you pay attention to. And yes, I think, yeah, keep testing.
Great, Diksha. Thank you for the summary of very well put, I must say. Thank you everyone for attending this session. And as always, keep experimenting and see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.